of the Niger on Nigeria's women's basketball team, the Tigress, for their victory. Northwest stakeholders gather in Abuja, demand infrastructure development and fairer revenue allocation as key issues to be addressed during the constitutional review. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike describes the upcoming Rivers State local government election as constitutional and crucial for good governance after Governor Fubara's reinstatement. And at least 68 people die after a migraphone boat carrying 157 people sank off the coast of Yemen in a tragic accident.
And on business, bank verification number BVN enrollment climbs to 66.2 million as banks expand access for Nigerians at home and abroad.
On sports news tonight, Nigeria's D Tigress receive a hero's welcome upon arrival in Abuja after the triumph at the FIBA Women's Afro Basket Tournament, which held in Côte d'Ivoire.
And from the nation's capital, the federal government records significant successes in crime fighting, including 2,100 arrests, rescue of 179 kidnapped victims, and seizure of 2.9 million kilograms of narcotics.
President Bola Tinubu has conferred the national honor of the Office of the Order of the Niger on the 2025 FIBA Women's Afrobasket Champions. That's Nigeria's women's basketball team, the Tigress. Now, making the announcement on behalf of the President, Vice President Kashim Shettima praised the team for their unity and the lessons they have brought home, symbolizing the promise of unity in a diverse nation. He also announced the award of $100,000 for each of the players and $50,000 to members of the technical team, among other accolades. Our State House correspondent, Larry Lasisi, reports.
The atmosphere radiates with joy as the victorious Afro basketball champions arrived in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport to the waiting arms of officials of the National Sports Commission and the Nigerian Basketball Federation. With excitement, tributes are heaped on the team. The team is then taken to the State House for a reception. The First Lady is on hand to receive them.
I'm just here.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
They then led to the reception venue. At hand is the Vice President and his wife, the First Lady, the Chairman of the National Sports Commission, the President of the Nigerian Basketball Federation, some ministers, and other guests. The chairman of the National Sports Commission highlights the historical context of Nigerian sports and the consistent performances of women teams. The captain of the team is full of appreciation.
This is a remarkable and defining moment for Nigerian sports, and more so for Nigerian women in sports. From the football pitch to the basketball court, they continue to lead from the front, lift our spirits, and raise our national profile with consistent performances and undiluted patriotism.
It means the world to us to be able to be hosted here today and to be able to represent our country in this way, to bring back another championship, to be able to inspire young women, young girls around the world, that they can one day too be in our shoes.
For the First Lady, the team should be celebrated not only as athletes, but also as ambassadors of a great nation.
This victory is not just a win on the court, it is a resounding statement of hard work, excellence, and national pride. This is a moment that will forever inspire generations of Nigerian girls and women to dream big, boldly, and pursue greatness. It is a clear indication that hard work and teamwork is what it takes to succeed.
The trophy is then presented to the Vice President. Speaking afterwards, he says the victory holds valuable lessons for the country.
You have once again reminded us of the promise of sports in a nation this diverse. This victory is what happens when we work together. So you have not only brought home a trophy, you have brought home lessons for all of us.
He then makes some pronouncements.
OON nationality honors for team, coach, and technical team. $100,000 for each player. $50,000 for coach and technical team, each member.
The players and the technical team also get a flag each. They then receive a handshake from the president, his wife, and the First Lady, followed by a group photograph. A very joyous crowd here, as for the second Monday in a row, they're here to receive champions and to celebrate Nigeria winning gold. And what a lot of people are saying here is that if this is the way to go, then more should keep coming for Nigeria, for our nation. From the presidential villa, Landre Lasese, Channels Television News.
More Nigerians continue to join the national conversation on the need for a new constitution. The Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Mrs. Hadiza Balarabe, says how to provide infrastructure, attract investment, fair revenue allocation are all part of the concerns that should be addressed in the ongoing constitutional review. Mrs. Hadiza, who stated this at a meeting of the Northwest Governors Forum in Abuja, explains that if attended to, the region will do its best towards the nation's, or do its bit rather, towards the nation's socio-economic development.
If there is a need
For some months now, the debate on the Constitution review continues to attract the attention of Nigerians at all levels, and this meeting, organized by the Northwest Governors Forum, is not any different. Some of the concerns focuses on how to address insecurity, build a resilient economy, as well as to bridge the energy gaps across the states.
As a region, we are acutely aware of the shared burdens that confront us. Rampant insecurity, youth unemployment, poor infrastructure, underinvestment in agriculture, drug abuse, and the weakening of traditional institutions. These are not problems confined to one state. They are regional in scope and demand regional solutions.
It is a gathering of minds committed to shaping the future of governance, justice, equity, and inclusion in our region and our country at large. Across the northwest states of Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara, conversations have been ongoing, from state executive councils to houses of assembly, civil society forums, and traditional institutions, all aimed at contributing to Nigeria's constitutional review process.
The concerns in some of the states differ, but are largely issues that borders on the region's development.
There is a mixed support for state police.
A former Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies shares his thoughts.
On security, most states, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, Zamfara, except Sokoto, advocated for state police to address localized threats, while Sokoto actually favors, to some extent, centralized policing to preserve national cohesion. On a second theme, fiscal federalism, this has generated broad support for revising the revenue sharing formula to boost state and local government allocations. Sokoto State, however, prefers resource control and also pooling of revenues nationally.
Resolutions reached here will give a further boost to the outcome of the nation's long-awaited constitution amendment. Sarah Chimugu, Channels Television News.
2027 general elections is just 2 years away, and the Niger State Caucus of the All Progressives Congress has endorsed President Bola Tinubu and Governor Umaru Bago for a second term in office. This was the consensus reached by all stakeholders of the party in the state during the expanded meeting of the caucus held at the Government House, Minna, the Niger State capital.
This expanded meeting of the Niger State All Progressives Congress is attended by leading figures of the party at the national and state level. From the National Assembly caucus to members of the Federal Executive Council, the meeting is aimed at forging a common front ahead of the 2027 general election. The leader of the Niger State APC caucus at the National Assembly, Senator Sani Musa, moves the motion for the endorsement of a second term for President Bola Tinubu and Governor Omar Bago. His motion is subsequently seconded by members of the House of Representatives.
We have seen what Mr. Governor has been doing, and we have all decided that we should endorse him for a second time. And apart from endorsing him for the second time, we feel what he's doing needs our support. Whatever any one of us can support him to, especially in the area of security, we should do it.
Members of the caucus applaud the efforts of the president and the governor, stating the need for continuity.
Under the leadership of the governor and the entire membership of the APC in Niger State, we have unanimously agreed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing very well as the president of Nigeria. He has just done 2 years of his first term. We are now employing all our members, and we have endorsed the president.
As APC, we talk about progress. As a party, we gather today to have an expanded caucus so that we appraise the progress of both our state and, of course, the government. And as you see, we have endorsed both our governor, Farmer Umar Mohamed Bago, and, of course, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because we believe they are doing a great job.
In his response, Governor Omar Bago appreciated the endorsements and charged the members to continue to mobilize support for the party.
And every other stakeholder in the party, we've come unanimously to make sure and to reassure the center that Niger State, there is no second party. Niger State is 100% APC, and we are not willing to change. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu is our president.
The forum also provided members the opportunity to discuss issues affecting the party in the state, with a pledge from the leaders to ensure inclusiveness for the common good of the people.
Legal luminary Mr. Femi Falana has asked the Independent National Electoral Commission to warn political parties and the present administration to stop electioneering campaign and face governance. Mr. Falana, while highlighting areas of citizens' concern, asking parties to shun tribalism ahead of the elections, spoke on our political program, Politics Today.
As far as the Electoral Act of Nigeria, Electoral 2022 is concerned, the ongoing electioneering campaign is illegal, totally illegal. It's also diversionary. Because what Nigerians expect now, what the law provides for, is governance of the country without distraction. So it's not time yet to campaign. And I do hope that INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, would draw the attention of politicians, including the government, including those who constitute the government, to the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act. That there is no provision yet, there is no room yet for campaigning in Nigeria 2 years ahead of election. It's not part of our law. If the people in power want to amend the law, that should be done. Having said that, and the media must help Nigeria, particularly when it's time to campaign. We must take politicians out of the cocoon of ethnicity, religion, and other primordial considerations. We must address the problems that are confronting our people. If you say you want to replace those who are in power, what is your solution to the electricity crisis, crisis in the education sector, bad roads in the country, and other problems confronting Nigeria as a nation? It's not just enough to say, I will be in power for 4 years. I'll be in power for 8 years. What do you want to do there? And for those who are in power, you have a greater responsibility to concentrate on governance and consult with the people with respect to your policies.
In part two, after the break, residents feel the power of nature as Lagos experiences torrential rain in various parts of the state. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasted live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu confers national honor of Officer of the Order of the Niger, Nigeria's women's basketball team, the Tigress, for their victory. Northwest stakeholders gather in Abuja, demand infrastructure development and fair revenue allocation as key issues to be addressed during the constitutional review. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike describes the upcoming Rivers State local government election as constitutional and crucial for good governance after Governor Fubara's reinstatement. And at least 68 people die after a migrant-formed boat carrying 157 people sank off the coast of Yemen in a tragic accident. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike claims former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's recent departure from the People's Democratic Party was not due to political disagreements, but rather because he knew he wouldn't secure the party's presidential ticket for the 2027 general elections. The FCT minister also dismissed the newly formed opposition coalition, describing it as a basket that holds no water. Our correspondent, Kumbi Abuluade, reports.
The August edition of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory's monthly media chat. As his usual practice, he begins by providing updates about developments in the FCT, and top on his list is the education sector and the efforts of his administration for the rehabilitation of schools.
We are doing a lot of rehabilitation of schools, so many. So the work is endless, but we believe by the grace of God that will all continue.
He also disclosed plans of his administration to resume the sealing up of buildings owing the FCTA ground rent following suspension of exercise on May 26, 2025 due to President Bola Tinubu's intervention.
Very soon, I'm going to seal up all those properties. I'm going to seal it up. You see, you can't deny us of the taxes we use for development. We have listened to Mr. President in his wisdom. Give them 2 weeks. Give them 1 month. We have done that. Some have complied. Some have refused to comply.
Delving into politics, the minister speaks on the Rivers State local government elections scheduled for August 30th, 2025, stating that the exercise is constitutional.
The 1999 Constitution gives the president the power to modify laws of the colonial period or even the military. And that was in 2004, under President Obasanjo. He now brought the modification law of 2004 under the Emergency Act and retained those provisions that under the emergency rule, the president can suspend, modify some aspects of the law. Now, when you now say emergency, that they have no power to conduct election, how could anybody say so?
He also speaks on defections in the PDP in recent times and the state of the party.
People join with one party they call ADC. Let me tell you why they have to do that. It is difficult now for them to have it in PDP. All this has to do with presidential ambition. Can I get my ticket? The way PDP is now, it's not likely that Atiku will get ticket. Therefore, it's not comfortable. Then he goes to tell you, let's come, let's do a coalition against PDP. It's not correct. You look it is because he cannot get the presidential ticket under PDP. I'm going to remain in PDP, and which I'm still in PDP. And that's why I'm saying that the right thing must be done. I will not leave this party, which I have done everything for the Buccaneers and vampires. If I have left the party, the Buccaneers and vampires would have remained in PDP to come and collect ticket.
Is the crisis over?
Well, it is over for now. Because there are still some things remaining, which I've told them they must do.
He further makes some demands to maintain peace in the party.
Our South-South Zonal Congress that was held must be upheld. The National Vice Chairman of PDP South-South is Chief Dan Obi. If they don't agree, that's another round of crisis. 2, the South-East Congress, which they produce, cannot stand.
Mr. Wike has promised that he will ensure the right thing is done in the FCT in order to fulfill the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. From Abuja, Kumbi Aboluade, Channels Television News.
In Lagos, residents felt the power of Mother Nature as the state experienced continuous rainfall for several hours, causing waterlogged streets across various parts of the city. The heavy downpour, which began on Sunday night, August the 3rd, till the following morning of today, August the 4th, disrupted activities for many residents, resulting to flash flooding in many areas. This report looks at the aftermath of the floods in some affected communities.
This is a viral video showing a waterlogged street in Okwakwe in the Jeddah area of Ikorodu. A woman is finding it difficult to step out of her home as she cries out for help from the relevant authorities, including the Lagos State government.
Lagos State Governor, we voted for you, come and rescue us.
For several hours between Sunday night, August the 3rd, and Monday morning, August the 4th, Lagos State experienced continuous rainfall in parts of the city. Like this area in Jakonde on the morning of August the 4th, which slowed down traffic and almost led to a total lockdown for motorists. Even though it rained cats and dogs in some places, disrupting activities, leading to severe flooding, some other parts experienced flash floods. One of the areas worst hit with massive flooding is Bako Estate, Irawa Jegule, Agboiketu LCDA, owing to the uncompleted road inward Irawa, making the flood to affect the finished part into the Bako Estate.
I'm expected to resume work at 8 o'clock, but I got to work like some minutes past 9. And all thanks to the train anyway, I was able to bypass some of the floods. And when I got to the train station, Marina station, I was not able to get bike. So I had to stay there for 20 to 30 minutes before I was able to get a bike. So it affected me, and I had some work I was supposed to have done before 8 and I didn't do it.
The floods may have subsided for now, but for the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, it wants residents in flood-prone areas to remain vigilant and take necessary precautions, even as the state government has called for calm from residents with an assurance that the state has put in place resilient infrastructure to combat flash flooding. Meanwhile, a new weather advisory from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, on Monday, August the 4th, warned of heavy rainfall and thunderstorm for the next 3 days.
In historic first, the APM West African Container Terminal has received the first indigenous container vessel on its maiden call to the Onne port in Rivers State. The vessel, named Ocean Dragon, made the call as part of the Clarion Shipping Company's move to ship goods directly from Lagos to Onne and Calabar, thus completely bypassing the roads and reducing the cost of the operations.
The Nigerian Port Authority.
It's a celebratory atmosphere at the quayside of the West Africa Container Terminal at the Onne Port, and in attendance are stakeholders in the nation's maritime sector. They are here for the maiden call of the Ocean Dragon, a vessel owned and operated by Clarion Shipping. The managing director of the Nigerian Ports Authority commends the partnership between both companies.
Clarion Shipping for the first time has brought in this Ocean Dragon, which is going to move from Onne to Calabar. And we are looking forward to having more investors, bringing local investment into this industry so we can have more vessels like this operating domestically. Government, I'm sure, will be very, very interested in promoting this kind of activities because that is the way to go.
The top brass at WACT APM terminals explained the importance of the trade partnership.
Ocean Dragon is a 349 TEU capacity vessel that will cater to the WACT Calabar trade route in response to our customers' call to ease the burden of inland cargo movement to and from WACT. About 3 weeks ago, the NPMD re-emphasized the commitment towards deepening efficiencies required for maximizing the port sector in line with the national policy on marine and blue economy.
For us in APM terminals, and you mentioned the investments that we've done in this facility, this is a natural and very welcome development where we are seeking, together with other supply chain partners, in this case Clarion Shipping and the ECM terminal in Calabar, novel ways of serving in this case, the East Nigerian market. And we will continue to develop such solutions, and we have invested in this facility exactly to have that ability.
Speaking on the sidelines of the event, the Vice President of Clarion Shipping explains the importance of this development, saying it's a game changer for trade in the region.
I want to take you back to about 2020, 2019, 2021, when there was horrible congestion in Lagos, that before containers will leave from Apapa Port to outside of Apapa Port, they can stay like 1 month, 2 months. The importer is paying the damages. The truck owner is not any income from flying that route. And we came up with the solution, the movement of the containers out of Lagos to Cotonou in conjunction with Next Line. And before you know it, we evacuated all the containers and then the congestion ceased.
With this move, customers can now move their containers directly from Lagos to Onne and Calabar ports via sea, while bypassing the stress of road travels at a way cheaper rate. Charles Oporum, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10. BVN enrollment climbs to 66.2 million as banks expand access for Nigerians at home and abroad, and that's on Business News. Please join us again. Welcome back. So let's now head to the nation's capital, and Gloria Umezuke is standing by to give us the latest from our Abuja studios. Hello, Gloria. Over to you.
Thank you, Ayo. We begin with the war against crime, where the federal government has recorded significant successes in a major move to boost national security, including over 2,100 arrests, rescue of 175 kidnapped victims, and seizure of 2.9 million kilograms of narcotics. The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Mr. Larry Issa Onilu, disclosed these figures at the first edition of the monthly Joint Security Press Briefing held at the agency's headquarters in Abuja. Our correspondent, Benny Ork, reports.
This is the first in a series of monthly security briefings organized by the National Orientation Agency in Abuja. The briefing brings together representatives of the police, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Federal Safety Corps, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Navy and other security and civic bodies, with the Director General of the National Orientation Agency leading the conversation. Themed Disrupting Criminal Networks and Securing Communities, the briefing is designed to keep the public informed and engaged in the national security efforts.
The federal government has escalated security operations nationwide, merging tactical enforcement with intelligence-led interventions. Banditry, insurgency, trafficking, and other crimes are being tackled through seamless interagency cooperation.
The Director General announced that police operations across the country have led to 2,109 arrests and the rescue of 175 kidnapped victims.
The police have carried out 326 operations within the time frame that we are relating with, of which 2,109 arrests were made. 175 kidnapped victims were rescued. 78 terrorists were neutralized.
He also highlighted the NDLEA seizure, which he described as a major win in the war against drug trafficking.
The recoveries made by NDLEA: 2.9 million kg of cannabis, 520 kilograms of tramadol, 7.35 kg of methamphetamine. Arms recovered in these operations: 12 AK-47s, 2 GPMGs, 2,200 plus rounds of ammunition.
Mr. Onilu urged Nigerians to support security agencies by reporting suspicious activities, avoiding fake news, and protecting their communities. He emphasized that national security begins with unity and shared responsibility. Benny Ark, Channels Television News.
Still in the nation's capital, clash between herders and a farmer has led to the death of at least 2 people in Gubata village, a farming community in the Gwagwalada area of the federal capital. A fear of reprisal attacks has sent residents panicking as youths from neighboring communities mobilize vigilante groups for security. However, the Federal Capital Territory Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ajao Adewale, says no arrests have been made, stating that officers have been dispatched to the scene to forestall further breakdown of law and order. We made our way through this path into what looks like a forest until we arrived at Gubata village, a quiet settlement nestled in the Gwagwalada Area Council of Abuja. The peaceful atmosphere here was shattered last week when suspected herdsmen allegedly killed a farmer and a vigilante commander. According to the community account, one Mr. Dahiru Yakubu, a maize farmer, visited his farm on Wednesday last week and met his maize destroyed by herders. These photos were shared by the community as they say it is unsafe for us to go to the farm and film. The situation led to an argument that degenerated to an assault and eventual death of Mr. Dahiru.
What actually took place was a Grufata man was in his farm. So a Fulani man came to enter his farm. So the boy now said no, that you can't enter, you won't agree for him to carry his cow and enter that farm. So as a result of their exchanging of words, not knowing that a brother to that Fulani man is at the back, so he now butchered him. He butchered that boy. At that spot, he died there instantly because of the excessive cuttings.
A second victim, Musa Yetsu, was a vigilante commander who led his team to the farm for an on-the-spot assessment. He was also allegedly assaulted and later died in hospital. We went to his compound where we spoke to his son.
As a commander, you will not allow your men to go into the bush without you leading. This is why he chose to take the lead. When he got there, he started taking pictures and video of the farm. Unknowing to him and his boys, there was an ambush and they were attacked and he was killed.
In the community, youth and several vigilante groups meet in clusters. A sense of unease has settled over the community, with combat-ready vigilante groups brandishing their weapons.
we seriously need security measures. It's not only in Gwagwalada Area Council, others is Area Council. If the minister will give us time for we to go and sit and design and sit down with him, we are going to tell him our cry. Some people are parading themselves and we are not getting it right. The rural community have been crying. Mothers have been there left. Children have been there fatherless.
However, the FCT Commissioner of Police briefs journalists about his intervention. He also confirms one person died in the attack.
Right from day one, police have stepped into that situation. We waded into the crisis. We have every deployment on ground at that location. We've been able to douse the tension. Normalcy has returned to that place for now. An investigation is going on with a view to picking all the perpetrators involved. This much we have assured them. One has been confirmed already, and another one that has been alleged is being investigated, to be sure.
Recent killings and armed robbery in rural and suburban communities in Abuja has reignited fears of a rising insecurity in the nation's capital that needs to be nipped in the bud.
That's it from the nation's capital. It's back to you, Ayo, for more on the News at 10.
Thank you so much, Gloria. From the streets of Nigeria to the global charts, Afrobeats is the defining sound of a generation. And now MTN Nigeria is amplifying its volume with the official unveiling of Next Afrobeat Star, a new music reality show with an aim to change lives, shape careers, and launch the next wave of African hitmakers. Here's the report.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
MTN Nigeria steps into the heart of youth culture with the launch of its new reality show, Next Afrobeat Star. Held at the MTN Rooftop Center in Ikoyi, Lagos, the event signals not only the unveiling, but the start of a musical movement.
The yellow mic traveled.
Speaking at the launch, the Chief Marketing Officer of MTN Nigeria, Onyinye Ikenaemeka, emphasizes that the show goes beyond entertainment. It's a commitment to empowering young talents and amplifying Nigeria's voice on the global stage.
Now, the Next Afrobeat Star would receive a $100,000 record deal, which is approximately 160 million naira in value. The top 4 finalists will also be rewarded with deals ranging from $25,000 to $75,000 to support the production of their debut projects, an open door to global stages, global audiences, and global impact.
Bringing this vision to life is a powerful alliance. Next Afrobeat Star is a collaboration between MTN Nigeria, Ultima Studios, and global music distributor 1RPM. With shows like Project Fame and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire under their belts, the partners bring years of experience to the table.
It's for Afrobeats is to expose our own culture, our own music to the world, and it's to look for the next Afrobeat star. And it's using beatmakers, that's the producers, to mentor the contestants to become the next Afrobeat star. So that's a unique thing, because we've never had the producers being part of any show.
In a rapidly growing music scene, standing out takes more than talent. Celebrated music producer Andre Vibes, who is behind hits like Rema's Calm Down and Ira Star's Rush, shares what makes an audition unforgettable.
I need to say fire artist, man. An artist that comes with the energy, with the talent, stage presence, what else? Just authenticity, Once the artist has all of that, I think the sky's the limit for him or her.
The show promises more than exposure. MTN and its partners are putting real investment behind the artists.
On the show, they'll showcase their talent, show us what they're learning, and so on and so forth. At the end of which there will be a winner.
Next, Afrobeat Star positions itself as a springboard for emerging talents, offering not just visibility, but genuine pathways into the music industry.
Business News is up next with Will Ebom.
Thank you, Ayotunde. Now, the number of Nigerians enrolled for the bank verification number has risen to 66.2 million as of July, and that's up from 64.8 million in January, an increase of 1.4 million in 6 months, according to the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System. Now, despite this growth, there's still over 320 million active bank accounts in Nigeria, and that means millions of accounts are yet to be linked to a BVN, which is required to secure bank transactions. To bridge the gap, the Central Bank of Nigeria has launched platforms to help Nigerians abroad register for BVN remotely. The goal is to make banking easier and safer for citizens, both at home and overseas. Now, about 2 million Nigerian micro, small and medium enterprises face major credit access challenges, limiting their growth and economic impact. The CRC Credit Bureau MD and CEO, Mr. Tunde Popola, attributes the issue to both lender-related and internal business factors. He also revealed that 50.5 million Nigerians, around 40% of the adult population, are now in the country's credit bureau database. Now let's check in on the domestic stock market now, which opened the new week with another record-breaking close as the all-share index rose by nearly 2% today. Ladi Williams has the details.
Well, the party continues in the second trading day of August. I guess it's a hangover from the over 16% rise we had for the month of July, and definitely kicking off pretty strong, 1.99%. That's for the month of August. All-share index 144,000. I guess it's the road to 150,000 at this point for the all-share index. Market cap, that sits at 91 trillion. Let's look at the sectors we track now. We see consumer goods. That's on fire today. With the likes of Boa Foods, Champion Breweries adding to their share price and taking the counter up there, 4.93%. That's for consumer goods, about 5% at this point. Banking starting off slow, 8 basis points, and oil and gas a big drop, 1.12%. And we see the cement giants again pushing the market up with the likes of Boa Cement, Dangote Cement adding to their share price today, helping the bulls maintain the grip on the market.
Thank you, Ladi. Now in the U.S., President Donald Trump says he will announce a new Federal Reserve governor and a new jobs data statistician this week. And let's see the closing numbers, how they're impacted by that, and those of other major equities. And that's business news. Is back to Ayotuni for the rest of the news at 10.
Many thanks, Will. Simon Pusey is up next with our international news and around the world in 5 from our London studio.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5.
At least 68 migrants have died after a boat with around 157 people on board sank off the coast of Yemen in bad weather. The vessel capsized off Yemen's southern province of Abuja on Sunday. It's thought 12 people had been rescued, but dozens were unaccounted for. Most of the victims are believed to be Ethiopian nationals. This and other boats taking one of the most deadly migration corridors in the world from the Horn of Africa to Yemen. The IOM estimates that hundreds have died or gone missing in shipwrecks in recent months. Western leaders have condemned videos of emaciated Israeli hostages filmed by their captors in Gaza, with the Red Cross calling for access to all remaining in captivity. This, a weak and frail-looking Evitar David telling the camera he is digging his own grave. Protests followed across Israel, with Israeli leaders accusing Hamas of starving hostages. Hamas's armed wing denied it intentionally starves prisoners, saying hostages eat what their fighters and people eat amid a hunger crisis in Gaza. A white South African farm worker accused of killing 2 black women says he was forced to feed their bodies to pigs, according to his lawyers. Adrian DeWet is one of 3 men facing murder charges after Maria Magato and Lucia Devolu were killed while allegedly looking for food on a farm in South Africa's northern Limpopo province last year. Their bodies were then alleged to have been given to pigs in an apparent attempt to dispose of the evidence. A volcano in far eastern Russia has erupted for the first time in more than 500 years, which experts say may be linked to last week's massive earthquake. The volcano in Kamchatka threw up ash plume up to 6 kilometers high overnight. There are no threats to populated areas. Hours later, another large earthquake in Russia led to tsunami warnings in 3 areas of the peninsula. Both events may be connected to the massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake which hit a similar area last week. A massive oil depot fire near Russia's Black Sea resort of Sochi has been blamed by Moscow on an overnight Ukrainian drone attack. Krasnodar region's governor said drone debris hit a fuel tank and 127 firefighters were tackling the blaze, which was later put out. The airport near Sochi, the venue of the 2014 Winter Olympics, briefly suspended flights. Meanwhile, Russia again bombed a key bridge in Ukraine's southern city of Kherson, killing 1 man. In nearby Mykolaiv, 7 people were injured and several homes destroyed. Police have named 4 people in a shooting at a bar in the U.S. state of Montana as a manhunt for an Army veteran suspected of the attack entered its 3rd day. A barmaid and 3 customers died as a rifle-wielding assailant opened fire at the pub of Anaconda on Friday morning. Police said the suspect, 45-year-old Michael Paul Brown, fled to the nearby foothills afterwards. Authorities have offered a reward of $7,500 for any information that will lead to his capture. Strong gusts of wind helped 2 huge waterspouts merge just off Italy's Delta del Po on the country's east coast. A local tour boat operator paused an excursion so he could film the spectacle. Waterspouts are similar to tornadoes that occur over water. Around 500 occur in Europe every year, according to data from the European Severe Weather Database. And a feisty alligator has been rescued from a swimming pool by a police officer in St. Augustine in Florida. Body cam footage shows the police officer calmly reaching into the water using just his bare hands to wrangle the animal onto the poolside.
You go. Wow. Obviously, you grew up here.
The residents were in awe of Deputy Richardson's confident handling of the creature, which was safely relocated to a nearby pond after being taken there in the back of a police car.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Many thanks indeed, Simon, and welcome to Sports News. Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Duku, has commended the performance of Nigeria's women's basketball team following their record-breaking victory at the 2025 FIBA Women's Afro-Basket Championship in Cote d'Ivoire. The team received a warm reception by officials of the National Sports Commission, Nigeria Basketball Federation, Association of Women in Sports, and some basketball enthusiasts. Also speaking of the performance of the team, head coach Rena Wakama attributes the success of the team to their determination to overcome all hurdles in the course of the championship. Nigeria's home-based national team, the Super Eagles B, will kick off their African Nations Championship campaign on Tuesday. That's tomorrow against the cup holder Senegal at the Aman Stadium in Tanzania. The Super Eagles will be aiming for a win in the opening Group B match to set the tone for their trophy ambitions and ease the pressure before facing Sudan and Congo. And the coach, Eric Schell, has instilled a sense of belief and self-confidence in his 23-man squad, and a victory against Senegal would be a crucial step in their quest for continental title. Club football now, Song Heung-min is expected to join Los Angeles FC for around £20 million after announcing his departure from Tottenham over the weekend. After 10 years at the club, the 33-year-old appears poised to join the Major League Soccer in what could be even a record fee, potentially surpassing the £22.5 million paid by Atlanta United to sign Emmanuel Lath from Middlesbrough in February. The final details of the transfer remains in discussion, but his move to LAFC is now considered subject to just the completion of paperwork and a medical. From football tournament, officials have confirmed that legendary tennis player Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from this week's starts of the ATP Cincinnati Masters. This means the 38-year-old Serbian will have played no matches between his Wimbledon semi-final loss to Jannik Sinner and the US Open starts in 3 weeks. Djokovic, winner of 24 Grand Slam singles titles, first played Cincinnati in 2005 and won the last of his 3 titles there in 2023 after losing 5 previous finals. With that sports, I am Kelly Egiga. It's back to Ayotunde.
Many thanks, Kelly. And the main news again. President Bola Tinubu today conferred National Honor of Officer of the Order of the Niger on Nigeria's women's basketball team, the D-Tigers, for their victory in the women's Afrobasket in Côte d'Ivoire. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Do have a good night.